Hi, you guys. Welcome back to Wrestling Tea Tarot. I am Calypso Vibes here with my partner Jude. We are doing Flying Brian today, Brian Pillman. As you guys know, Brian Pillman passed away. What year was it? Oh, I should have looked up what year. But I know he died the same 97, so he's been gone quite a while. We're now in 2023. 97? It's been a long time since Mr. Pillman's been gone. But we also know that he passed away. What I was going to say is that we know he passed away the day of the Bad Blood pay-per-view. So, there's been a little controversy around his death because he didn't pass like Owen, but he passed like Owen in a sense of he died on the same day of a pay-per-view day. So, and he died allegedly of a heart attack, was discovered in a hotel room, kind of like Eddie Guerrero. Very similar to Eddie Guerrero's story. Found in a hotel, face down, unresponsive, that they think of a heart attack. So we're gonna, look into the day, to see if, Brian Pillman will allow me to flow into his energy and tell his story of what happened to him the day he passed away. And, let's get into it, you guys. Again, this is all allegedly for entertainment purposes. Again, I don't want nobody suing us. This is, again, just us trying to see if we can get insight on what happened to Brian Pillman the day he passed away. We mean no disrespect. It is for the good of all and a harm to none. You just want to be able to, tell this story the best we can. And like I said, this is all allegedly for entertainment purposes only. Start with, he is a Gemini and he is ruled by Mercury, sharing in the mind. The third house symbolized thinking and communication, also traditionally brothers and sisters, writings, and short journeys. He's a life path 3? No, he's a life path 9. Oof, yeah, addictions. So, this is his house of him being a Gemini. So, creative, sharing of the mind, those two personalities, which is, giving us the start. Then we have also versatility and freedom. So we have versatility, freedom, sharing, and mind, and energetic aura that allows you to follow a self-laid path and thrive. However, you can be impulsive and unpredictable. Well, we know he was called the loose cannon, and it's showing up in his cards. So right there, you can see with him being a Gemini, he likes freedom and he can be unpredictable and impulsive, but he possesses, Brian Pillman always was able to draw the crowd in, hook people in to buy in to any, whatever he was selling pretty much, right? He was a life path 9, which we have told you guys before in previous readings. If you haven't, please go check out our other readings. People who tend to have a life path 9 tend to be have addictions, whether it's alcohol, the body, intimacy, addicted to intimacy, whether it's, party favors, things like that. So yeah, life path 9s tend to have a much more harder lifestyle. Compassion, understanding, and acceptance come away from every new experience a little bit wiser. So yeah, they carry baggage, which is why they tend to be, end up with addictions. So his destiny number was 11. Inspiring others, living a spiritual life, and showing light to others is in your destiny this life. Keep check on nervous tensions and take material life lightly. I think Brian Pillman struggled with that, to be honest, though, because before he passed away, we know he spent a lot of money, lived a lot beyond his means, and definitely had a tumultuous love life with his wife before he passed away. They had a lot of, this is all alleged that we know so far about Brian Pillman's story, so forgive me, we haven't gotten really into the cards, but yeah, allegedly that the wife had addictions as well, so that can be a volatile cocktail, you never know what person you're gonna get. Then we have that his power numbers are 2. Reevaluate what it means to use your emotional sensitivity to the benefit of both yourself and others. Use diplomacy to involve yourself with group dynamics and open yourself to relationships. So, you know, it was always in his power why he joined the Heart Foundation, right? He thrived in groups. He thrived opening himself up to others. He made people feel safe. That's the right word to use, which is why Stone Cold said he missed him dearly, right? That Brian was one of his good friends and had a heart of gold. That makes sense. People always felt safe around Brian Pillman. All right, you guys, let's get into this reading. Again, remember, this is all allegedly for entertainment purposes. We appreciate you checking us out. We are Wrestling Tea Tarot. Please don't forget, if you're enjoying this video, to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell if you want to see more content. Let us know in the comment section, 1, what you thought of this video, and 2, what else you would like to see from us in the future. We are going to be putting content out as often as we can, and trying to do stories that you guys are interested in. And, you know, there's a long list of people who've passed away early in the wrestling business, so there's definitely plenty of content for us to cover. But we appreciate you guys watching the video. And please make sure you watch it all the way through and let me know what you thought. And like I said, what else you would like to see from us. Again, remember, this is all allegedly for entertainment purposes. We come with good intentions. We mean no harm and disrespect to Brian Pillman or his family. We just want to allow Brian Pillman the chance to tell his story on the day he passed. And let's see if he'll let me see what happened to him the day he passed away and what story he wants us to know. Don't forget to like, share, and turn on that notification bell. That said, I am Calypso Vibes, here with my partner Jude. This reading is for Brian Pillman. Oof, I knew I was going to get betrayal. I kept pulling betrayal cards while shuffling, and I'm pulling them even now. So someone betrayed Brian Pillman the day he passed. I am using a Dreams and Incarnations deck. So it's a very heavy deck, but I wanted to jump right into it with some dreams and some visions of what happened the night he passed away. I think this is plenty and a good start. I'll leave that here, and then, you know, I'll give it to you so you get some cleaning now. All right, you guys, let's jump right into the thick of it. Again, this is for Brian Pillman. If you're just tuning in, we come with good intentions for the good of all and harm to none, allegedly for entertainment purposes. Searching, the novice, pursuit, desire. Let's start with desire. Well, no, betrayal. Betrayal, desire, and then dystopia. Betrayal. Keywords for betrayal is deception, suspicion, infidelity, as you guys can see. It's a little bit of a darker deck, but it's a great deck for, you know, doing people who've passed on. We have the raven, or a crow with a dagger in its mouth. Interesting, right? Betrayal. And then we have, what did it say again? It said deception, suspicion, infidelity. Betrayal suggests that trust has been broken. You may suspect that someone close to you has been unreliable and broken the promises that they made to you. Betrayal can also illuminate the fear of infidelity in a relationship, but not necessarily the act of being unfaithful. So it could mean that he thought his wife was cheating on him, right? Betrayal may reveal that you have been disloyal to yourself by ignoring your needs or wishes and consequently preventing your own happiness. It's a very interesting card. The question is, did he betray himself by keep being in WWE while he wasn't happy, and he was working injured and hurt? But this card says a lot, right? Could it be that his wife, that he felt that his wife was stepping out on him, or did someone in the business betray him, right? Because it's like a bloody dagger, right? Then we have desire as our next card. As you guys can see there, we got desire as the next card. Betrayal and desire. And if you see the desire card, it looks like a serpent to a heart, right? So more of this like betrayish, like, you know, just whenever I see a serpent around a heart, that's not good, right? Connection, release, stimulation. Desire indicates a need for connection on a physical, mental level. So he definitely wasn't being satisfied in his relationship. I hate to say it. Dreams of desire may be physical and reveal the need to release sexual tension. They may also carry the message that a physical connection is missing in your life. He felt alone. He felt alone. Desire can also indicate a need for mental stimulation that can be found by connecting intellectually with others. So yeah, this absolutely says that he wasn't being fulfilled in his love life. He wasn't, he was missing, you know, that even though he was with his wife, like I said, that she had bad addictions. And she actually passed away not too long ago. Rest her spirit. But yeah, both of them had addictions, but allegedly the wife had it a lot worse. So when we see this betrayal and then this you know, feeling alone and not being fulfilled and loved, it's already painting a little bit of a heavy story, right? Because look, then we have dystopia. Like this loneliness. There's so much loneliness in this reading already, right? Like I was alone, I was abandoned, I wasn't being fulfilled.
I mean, Brian, even, you know, if he had substance issues with the pain pills or whatever else, was a worker, right? And he handled his business, and you sort of get the impression, I mean, we don't know much about Melanie. We saw that, you know, terrible piece that WWE did right after Brian passed, and she's just so, you know, so out of it, right? That I'm sure he did feel alone, and to some degree, you know, he was sort of isolated in the business too, because he walked on the edge so hard.
Yes. We have dystopia, remote, isolated, disconnected, sleeping or wakeful thoughts of dystopian images and moods can be powerful, sometimes even debilitating. Visions of oneself in lonely or empty places convey the sense of not belonging or disconnection from places which feel like home. This is the business. The disconnection from the business. A dystopian world often symbolizes feelings of isolation. So yes, again, isolation, loneliness, unfulfillment. That's a lot already. Betrayal. Dwelling too long in such moods can lead to a sense of diminishing meaning. Be mindful not to linger. Yeah. Signs of mental health issues. Signs of you know, being in the head too much, right? Warning, don't be in the head. Don't linger on these emotions too long, because you linger on these emotions too long, they can take you to a dark place, right?
You say, you know, dystopia and disconnection from places which feel like home, referring to the business. And I don't disagree that may have been the case, but I think also home. If you're connected to your home, do you do that piece that he did with Steve Austin and the, you know, the home invasion and the weapon and all? If that's a place you actually feel connected to and safe in.
But it's the business. They move differently than we do.
I understand, but if those feelings of loneliness, you know, in that relationship are there, does home feel like that place?
It's possible. I think he always ran away from home. Pursuit. So, interesting. Like double Raven. Almost a Gemini. This is his energy. He's here. Whenever I see the person's energy, it lets me know that they're present for the reading. So we have pursuit. We have the double bird, as above, so below. And that's what this picture, and a ring, right? It represents a ring, and it represents as above, so below, pursuit.
Right, almost like the Ouroboros, right? With, you know, instead of the snake, eating his own tail.
Right, it's the bird. Yes. Chase, evade, hide. Yeah, he was hiding. See? Dystopia, isolating, running away, right? Pursuit is the desire to flee from something or someone, avoiding or hiding from a person, situation, or responsibility. Yeah, he absolutely was running from home. Alternatively, it can also reveal you are chasing something or someone, likely a moving target, in an attempt to obtain answers of closure. When being pursued in life, sometimes it's best to look close at the pursuer, be it a person or an opportunity. The choice will often become continue fleeing of avoiding confrontation, or allow yourself to be caught facing one's fears directly. In the case of chasing one's desires, the best question to ask oneself becomes, do I really truly want what I'm chasing? Remember to be careful what you wish for. Yeah. That's, see, and no, it does make me think of, yes, he was running from home, but it was also the business. The business is coming through strong to me. Of that, be careful what you wish for, right? Oh, I want this. I want to make this money. I want to be in this business. And yet he was hurt. He was working hurt. I've read and watched Brian Pillman's story. Like he was medicating. He was eating pain pills to stay on the road, even though he wanted to do more. Like he got hurt. Like I think he went back into the ring sooner. He didn't even allow his ankle to heal, and ended up hurting it worse. It got worse. He injured it again, and it got like really bad. So, because he didn't want to just do commentary. Then he even tried to offer him commentary. He didn't want to do it. So I think this, be careful what you ask for, right, is eating your own self, right? A little bit, right? Like, no, I kind of got myself in this situation, running the same circle, repeating the same habits. All right, you guys, we got searching as the next card. Searching. Again, another card with this like barren looking energy to it, you guys. We have restless, dissatisfied, absence. Searching is the feeling that something is absent in your life, whether dreamed or daydreamed of. What you seek may be veiled in shadow, or it may be that your desire is known but unattainable at the present moment in your life. Searching may also be a feeling of restlessness that pervades your life and causes you to feel dissatisfied. If allowed to linger, this sense of disquiet can disrupt one's sense of self. Remember that although discovering a purpose can lead to contentment, the search cannot be rushed. Patience and one's mindfulness will allow one to be ready when the dreamed up moment approaches. So we have pursuit, searching, dystopia, desire, and betrayal, right? It's interesting that we get the searching, but also got told, be careful what you wish for. And it might have not have fell in that order, right? It might have actually fell in the proper order of searching and then pursuit, but because I'm putting them down, because this is in alphabetical order. You know what I mean? But yeah, that searching, that yearning, go back up, scroll up again. The unattainable at the present moment in your life. Go up. Yeah. He was dissatisfied. The absence. God, Brian, where were you? Like all this absence, like I'm not here. Like to me, the energy reads, I'm not here. Right? I'm not present. I'm like moonwalking. I don't know how else to describe the energy on the night he passed, like of the dream and the visions, right? The goals of what he wished for, right? That's these cards, right? And then we have the ancestor, which is speaking, I think, of his passing. It's death with the spirit, right? Offering the spirit while the skeleton is crying, right? It's an interesting card. That's the ancestor, you guys. So with the ancestor, we have remembrance, roots, and appreciation. The ancestor carries the energy of those who have walked before us. The ancestor communicates a need to connect to your roots, a celebration of earlier generations and even those who will come after you, is a way of honoring loved ones and revering lineage. So it's talking about remembrance, roots, and appreciation. I mean, he loved the Heart Dungeon. He always talks about Stu. Like, and what the Hart family did for him and how much he loved them. As you guys know, he was in, I forgot what that iteration of the Hart family was called before he passed away, where, you know, it was Owen, Davey, and Brett, right? Warring against Shawn Michaels, you know, baby DX at that point, right? And when I see this ancestor card, it definitely tells me he respected, you know, the legacy, those who came before him, like the elders in the business.
But he also is the ancestor to Brian Pillman Jr.
Yes, absolutely. The ancestor can communicate the need to resolve issues between yourself and the loved one who has passed. Forgiving a wrongdoing that was done to you, or if necessary, forgiving yourself brings much needed peace to your family line. Interesting. He's learned to forgive himself. While persevering ancestral customs, attitude is respectful. Sometimes doing so can hinder progression in the present day. Do not find yourself stuck in old ways if they are limiting or conflict with your own thoughts and beliefs. So yeah, there's forgiving himself and possibly really being there for Brian Pillman Jr. But I also think it is respecting, you know, the journey, right? Of those who helped lace his boots, right? But I'm happy to hear that, right? Like, I hope he has healed, right, from the trauma and forgiven himself. We have the novice. The novice, however you want to put it. So it started very dark with betrayal, desire, dystopia. But then we got this searching, pursuit, and ancestor, and now the novice, right? Card showing up. What does that one say? It is naive. Oof. So we got betrayal with naive, right? Optimistic, curious. While wide-eyed optimism and a fearless sense of adventure, the novice exemplifies limitless potential and the infinite possibilities life can offer, which we know Brian Pillman was super talented and died too soon. The novice is not laden with fears of failure, danger, or loss, but is motivated by curiosity and innocence. To some degree, I pulled the recklessness, right? That he needed to be careful of his own recklessness. The novice represents the excitement that comes with new beginnings. No matter what age we are, we can embody this fearless nature, enthusiastically embrace a new start in life. While innocence is a key characteristic of the novice, it may be damaged by unanticipated disappointments, or failures in life. The struggle for the novice is to maintain optimism in the face of adversity. That's interesting that he's being considered. It's almost like implying, like, be careful what you wish for, and calling him a novice. Like, I don't know if he was really ready for the fame, like the bigger stage. Oh, I want to be a star. I want to be this. But that grind of going from sitting in catering or maybe wrestling a lot less to 200, 300 days on the road, that's a drastic shift. Right? Because Bret Hart said, my guy said he was on the road 300 days, 280 to 300 days a year at one point. Like, oh, I want that. I want that money. I want that belt. I want that limelight, man. And I'm not saying that these dudes, like, people complain about the road now. Man, these dudes don't do nowhere the time they used to do.
Especially if, again, in Pillman's case, you know, he had at least one small child at home with, you know, a wife that he didn't necessarily trust to be capable of caring for that family.
Right. Agree. What do you think of the card so far? Oof, that ring was cutting me.
I think that there's definitely a story there about the business, but I feel it's a lot more personal. That again, he had a child with Melanie, and thinking, okay, great, I'm gonna have this family life. I'm gonna be a dad with a wife and a kid, and that wasn't all it was cracked up to be, and that he was lonely because he didn't have a partner there who was actually capable of.
But didn't Brian Pillman leave a woman? He left a woman, his first wife or his first baby mama for Melanie.
Maybe
and I think she ended up
maybe the baby mama.
No disrespect, but I think she ended up taking her own life. From like depression or something like that. All right, you guys, let's get into the next deck. Again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. But yeah, this is really painting. Sorry, you guys, if it doesn't sound super juicy yet, but we're getting there, I promise. This is really painting a story about Brian Pillman's like earlier years in his career. You know what I mean? Of how he felt like inexperienced, right, around all these guys, and the betrayal to me is still interesting. Running away from home, feeling alone in his marriage, like, that he didn't make a right choice, but I think also forgiving himself in death, right? Being there. He's an ancestor. He's there for his son. Like, he's watching over his son and his bloodline, his children. And hopefully they know that.
By the way, since you had the betrayal card, which had to do with infidelity, it is rumored that Brian's daughter from a previous relationship claimed that Brian's daughter with Melanie is not his biological child. So Brian's older daughter claims that the younger daughter is not in fact his biological child, that there was infidelity there.
Oof, there it is. So it's showing up. Betrayal of the love. Now that makes sense. Betrayal of the love. Avoiding home. Yeah, you guys, the story's making more sense. He's an ancestor. He's forgiven himself, and he's there with his children, watching over his children. He wasn't ready for a lot of what the business had, and yet, that pursuit, searching for more, searching for love, right? Someone who would fulfill him, but he really was inexperienced in a Shark Tank, right? Like, let's be real, that business and that man at the top, right? They're people wear masks. Let's just put it that way. Everybody's not your friend. Remember, this is all allegedly for entertainment purposes. We're doing Brian Pillman. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell. We're trying to see what happened to Brian Pillman on the night he passed. This is for the good of all and harm to none. We come with good intentions. What?
I did not know this, and I wish I had seen this ahead of time. One of Melanie's daughters that Brian had adopted entered the business in 2008 and was a ring girl and died a year later in a car crash.
Wow.
26 years old.
Wow.
And she carried his name because, again, he had adopted her and she used his name in the business. Valet and ring girl. Sexy Lexi Pillman.
Wow. That's terrible. Wow. Whew. No wonder his family line is showing up for this reading, right? Ancestors, right? All right, you guys, I'm just trying to get some more. I know sometimes I can go quiet for a while, but this is definitely for Brian Pillman, and this is me talking to the cards, right? Trying to be respectful. See what Brian Pillman wants to say to us. All right, that's enough cards. Here, Jude. All right, you guys, let's get into it. If you notice, I'm not as extroverted during this reading because these readings are heavy and they sit heavy on your heart, right? And I definitely feel, I don't feel sad heaviness or like anger heaviness, but I definitely feel heaviness while doing this reading. And I'm not liking the cards I see at all. Oof. All right, you guys, let's get to it. We have the Watcher. Enlightenment, mastery, isolation. So there's that isolation, right? Dystopia, isolating himself is right here showing up. Enlightened, mastery. The 33. Oof. How about the card 33 is called the Watcher? Called Enlightenment, Mastery, Isolation. So we pulled the Jesus card. So there's some kind of enlightenment and mastery in his passing, right? Like some spiritual enlightenment. But he was isolating himself. And then we got the thunderstorm, ferocity, anger, unpredictability. Did he have a fight before he passed? Because we're seeing anger, we're seeing that unpredictability. Man, I stay pulling this in his cards. This is a third thing talking about that. That explosive explosive nature from him.
At the time of his passing, he and Melanie were in the middle of a pretty bitter divorce. He was banished to the basement, and the word is, Melanie thought the divorce would be a wake-up call for Brian and his own issues. Interesting knowing that, again, she was, had issues of her own. And of course he was, the loose cannon.
Right. In real life, because it's coming through in the cards. The enduring, wisdom, restraint, balance. So here we go again with isolation. The dude is super smart. We got enlightenment, mastery, wisdom, restraint, and balance, right? The enduring, like enduring pain, putting up with it, right? But he's broken. If you notice, the face is broken in the enduring. Then we have the regrets, disappointment, hurt, expectations, right? Brokenheartedness, right? You see the blood breaking out of her face. Being broken, just not happy with life, right? Disappointment. The Judge, retribution, triumph, and discipline. Interesting. As we know, the Judge symbolizes like the Libra, right? Wonder who did he have a Libra around him?
Yes, Melanie was a Libra.
There you go. She's showing up in the cards as the Judge. Retribution, triumph, and discipline. So yeah, this is her showing up. Retribution. So yeah, this is the divorce, right? Showing up. This is her energy showing up as retribution. Right? So he had regrets and had to endure this and was angry over this divorce, but it's showing up. And her energy is showing up in his reading. Then we have the waterfall, sorrow, acceptance, and chaos. The 44, by the way, is called the Waterfall. Sorrow, acceptance, and chaos. As you guys can see. So, chaotic. Chaos, anger, heartbroken, regret. He was sad. And sad to see. He was very sad and angry. The Moon. 15, spirituality, mystery, the divine. So I wonder what this means. I don't know if it means he's spiritually here with us, right? Another card just confirming his presence, right? Or that ancestor card, right? Spirituality, mystery, the divine, right? I think this is just like the ancestor card, right? Speaking about his spirituality, right? His spirit. And being one with the divine. So, you know, this is just like that ancestor card over there. And then we have the Machine. Oof. Detach, numb, focus. So whenever I see the Machine, I'm telling you guys, I think of the business, right? I think of that you know, that place, the corporation, right? The Machine, detached, numb, and focused. But he also felt like a machine, right? He was detaching himself from all his heartbreak, anger, and his wife. And felt alone. Then we have the Deceiver. Whew. So we got Betrayal, the Machine showing up. And we got Duality, which we know he's a Gemini.
Yeah. And his wife was a Libra.
And his wife was a Libra. So we have duality, and we have pretense and trust. So, yeah, there's, I don't know if this is his energy or hers, but there's definitely deceiver of duality, right? And I really do think Pillman had two sides to him. I mean, clearly, right? That Gemini energy, but then pretense and trust issues. But this last card definitely says a lot. And I think Betrayal and Deceiver is definitely speaking a lot about, and then the Machine. And yes, even though her energy is showing up, I think the business is also showing up. Because this next card is dark as shit. It's the Bound. Ensnared, captive, burdened. I don't like it. I don't like it. Like... this burdened captive. Yeah, the Bound. There you go. Hopefully y'all can see that Bound card. That's what's showing up so far. Oof. That deck got a lot heavier towards the end than I was expecting. What do you think of the card so far?
I mean, he was in a dark place. I don't know how much of that was just internal emotions and how much was related to substances, but he clearly, again, he was relegated to living in the basement, which is why it sounds like, you know, it's assumed that youngest child was not really his. That child was born after he had passed. You know, conceived clearly in those last few months.
Yeah, remember you guys, it's all allegedly for entertainment purposes. Outside of that, what else do you think of the cards? I mean, I think it definitely tells of a dark place. Brian Pillman, for the good of all, I ask that you allow me to flow into your energy and tell your story. But yeah, what's your take on it outside of the darkness? Her energy definitely showed up, and so did the business.
I mean, you know, the business, especially during that era. Well, that's not the same as the other one.
It's to me it is. It's damn near.
You know, the business during that era where, you know, there was a lot of access to substances commonly used. You know, there wasn't the focus on wellness that there is, you know, in more recent times. You know, we're looking at the late 90s or the dawn of the Attitude Era.
How about I'm pulling almost the same cards he pulled for Owen Hart? We got Death, Reincarnation, the Moon, Dream Doors. I'm going to give this one more shuffle, you guys. Done. Who we got? Greed. Oof. We got Divergence. We got Meditation, Death, Reincarnation, Door of Dreams, the Moon. I don't know who can symbolize the Moon. The Thief, Intelligence, Intellect, sorry, and the Magician. All right, you guys, let's get into it. If you haven't yet, make sure you guys turn on that notification bell, like, share, and subscribe. Welcome to the channel. We appreciate you being here with us. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just trying to get the cards in order because they are alphabetical order and I have to read it. There we go. And Divergent. Okay. So I have the first set of cards. We're going to start with Death. Is that the card you have up?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Death. Change, release, transformation. Death is an ending that is necessary for a new beginning. Do not bargain with death in order to resist change. Do not fear the unknown. There is freedom in letting go. Death is transformation. Remember, when one door closes, another opens. Do not let complacency keep you from accepting what death has to offer. So change. This is that change, release, transformation card. And let me tell you, we saw this same similar card for Owen Hart, by the way. But yeah, you can see this card looks like someone's making an offering to death. And, you know, when I see this card, it's kind of like accepting death, right? Almost knowing death is coming. Or this is someone making an offering, like a bargain with death, right? Like kind of like the deal with the devil, right?
The card also advises don't try to bargain with death.
Yes. Divergence. Divergence is the next card. Again, remember this is all allegedly for entertainment purposes. Divergence. Division, parting, choice. Have you come to a fork in the road? It may be time to deviate from your original plan. Perhaps you're moving in a different direction than those you know and love. I wonder if this is like his breakup. Like, I wonder if he was ready to break away from the Heart Foundation, right? It could be time for a career change, right? Was ready to walk away from the business. I'm telling you, I'm pulling in his cards. He was so unhappy. You have a decision to make, and the choice may not be obvious at first. Take time to consider which path you will take, right? His body was broken. He just couldn't wrestle anymore. And I really do wish he just had walked away from the business, right? But he loved it so much. We have Door of Dreams as our next card, you guys. Door of Dreams. Let's get in it. Passage, intuition, and imagery. The Door of Dreams is a passage into what you truly desire. What do you wish you would have done or could do differently in your life? What is it you really want? Ask yourself these questions before you go to sleep and pay attention to the messages your dreams bring to you through imagery. Consider keeping a dream journal. So this is interesting of the Door of Dreams, right? Like that passage and intuition, right? What did he really desire, right? What could he done differently, right? I wonder if he had trouble sleeping as well.
I also think that, these last two are very much reinforcement to the first deck, right? With the chasing and the seeking.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really want the thing that you're chasing?
Yeah.
Right? What are you truly looking for?
Greed is our next card. Greed, you guys. We got greed showing up. Hopefully you guys can see that greed. It's like a moon with a raven. Greed, desire, discontent, lack. Greed is the desire for more. It can be the desire for one particular thing or many different things. You may find yourself impacted by someone else's greed, right? Which we know the wife. Perhaps you struggle with your own greed and find yourself endlessly chasing satisfaction. Take the time to understand your motivations for acquiring more. What will bring contentment to your life? So he wasn't content. He wasn't happy. He wasn't fulfilled. Was greed his downfall? Intellect is our next card. We have intellect here, you guys. Hopefully you guys can see the intellect. With the octopus. Cerebral. What is that? Triple H? Rational, fair. Some situations require the use of intellect rather than emotion or intuition. See, we just was getting the intuition, right? In this door of dreams, right? And then we got the explosive nature, right? When we got the thunderstorm, right? That's his emotions. Know when to lead with your head instead of your heart. Take an objective approach and be fair-minded. It's telling him, pay attention to the facts. Spend more time on intellectual pursuits and activities that challenge your mind. So he had a lot of 2 cards prior telling him stimulate his mental, because he's super smart. Like, I've pulled so much like knowledge, wisdom, like you need a partner that stimulates your mind, right? That was even on that heart card, right? Man, my guy just wanted his mind stimulated super bad. Like he wanted the pretty chick, but he'd have took a ugly chick who could challenge him mentally and have all this fun mental stimulation with, right? And it's more of that.
It's also saying curb the impulsivity, right? Follow your mind, not your heart.
Go up. I hear you,
yeah, Melanie got pregnant. Did you really make the right call deciding, now we have to get married?
Right, but it also is talking about being rational and fair, which I take that as, I don't think he always was fair, just by reading some of these cards. It's not like he didn't know what he was getting into. Like, there's too much wisdom and knowledge. Like, he knew she was a mess. He knew he was leaving someone who was much more stable for someone who was much more prettier on the eyes. I'm pretty sure, like, in Pillman's video, he had a girl and left her for Melanie. And, it's that rational, fair, like, yeah, a lot of this toxicness could have been avoided, right? Were you really fair to even your first partner, right? Like, there's just his second?
Yeah, Brian's 2 kids prior to Melanie are 2 different.
Oh Lord,
mothers.
Yeah,
well,
my guy. Yeah, that love life was a revolving door. Let's get to meditation, you guys. Meditation. My guy loved the ladies. There you go. You got meditation. He was young. I get it. Focus, breath, stillness. Meditation is achieving a calm, peaceful state of mind. Practice meditation regularly in stillness without the distractions and chatter daily life. Your inner voice will speak to you. Listen closely. Using mindful breathing throughout the day will give you the ability to stay strong and balanced. So yeah, needing to zone out, needing to get on that spiritual. Remember, I pulled the spiritual card, you guys. And Spirit was wanting him to tap into being more grounded, more healthy, more getting into spirituality, like getting out of these toxic environments. Do not let the noise and stress of life steal your peace. Yes.
I think to some degree, he had not overstimulation issues, but he was sensory seeking, right? He wanted the hard hitting fights, right? He wanted to feel strongly, love strongly, live hard, and wasn't getting that stillness.
Yeah. That's your version of the story. This is my story, though. I think, really looking at his cards, at first I felt, I don't want to say I saw sinister, saw heavy and dark, though. Like, with all this betrayal and stuff. And I don't want to say kind of like a victim. I actually felt a little bad for him in the first deck. But this deck doesn't make me feel as bad, which is interesting. The flip of, now I don't feel as bad. Because there's a lot of self-sabotage in these cards. Of, whether it's the greed, whether it's the, explosive nature, not listening to his spirit and his intuition, right? But also just a lot of mental, like, I don't want to say mental health, but there's a lot of, I don't know that word that I'm looking for, where it's like mental baggage, like where you just dragging on your own self so hard. Like, Brian lived in his head heavy, like heavy. The dream door and the other card, I forgot, like, can't remember what the other card is, because like under 2 layers of cards. But it really does speak to him really dang near living another life in his own mind, instead of the reality that's in front of him. No, I envisioned this. I saw it going this way. How is it this way, though? Right? Like, my guy, I got with her, but I envisioned it being like this, and we we're gonna live this happy life. I saw it. It was gonna be good. It was gonna be this, and yet it turned out to be a nightmare. Like, that kind of take is what I get. I got reincarnation. Reincarnation, you guys, is what I got. We got rebirth, integration, changeable. Reincarnation is rebirth. Allow the wisdom you have gained from the past to be your foundation for the future. So he's reincarnating. Like, he's not done with his cycle. Allow the wisdom you have gained from the past to be your foundation for the future. Look at your life and see all that you have overcome. See who you truly are in the present. Reinvent yourself by integrating the old and the new. You are fluid. Allow yourself to flow and change throughout your lifetime. This is interesting. I knew as I was reading these cards, so unlike with Owen's cards, which felt very the end, very final chapter, I'm not coming back energy, his is a rebirth energy. Like,
I mean, just look at his son.
Like, I don't mean just looking at his son. His son is not the only representation. Like, I don't know if one of his children may have had a grandbaby that has brought him back. But, yes, it's very easy to look at Brian Pillman Jr. Yes, I mean, he looks like his dad. Yes, but he also looks like his mother when she was actually cute. Like, before the drugs beat her up. But my point is, like, reincarnation doesn't have to just be in the form of, your son. Because I'm pretty sure Pillman Jr. was born before he passed.
Mm-hmm. He was, about 4
So,
years.
yes, it wouldn't be a cycle. He wouldn't be the cycle of bringing Pillman in. All I'm saying is, because he was still alive, his cards read another cycle and learning the lesson in this cycle.
Right. And if I remember right, I mean, Life Path 9, yes, we associate with addictions, but by the letter of its description, it's more about hard lessons.
Mm-hmm. Which also means coming back,
right.
Doing it again.
Exactly.
That's what the 9 is. He has so many looper cards, symbols of looping, eating itself, right? Going round.
Mm-hmm.
That's 9s. 9s don't know how to get off the treadmill of repeating.
Right. It's running and running with no progress.
Yes.
You don't get anywhere.
Yes. it says they keep getting wiser and wiser and wiser, but I'm not reading where they change.
If you're watching this, be sure to check out our Jeff Hardy video. Another Life Path 9.
Right? Like, I'm starting to really understand nines of not only are they addicts, I think even Jeff had like that symbol that looked like the Ouroboros, where it was like much more not like the bird, but the other card that looked like that. And his is even worse. Like, he's got multiple cards of this repeat. Brian Pillman, if your spirit is here, my guy, take some advice, because I see you showing up with this spirituality and the divine, and you showing up as an ancestor. So he's present, right? His energy is present in this lifetime. That's what these cards tell me, right? I hope he learns his lesson. Get off this repeat, and learn the lesson. Not everything is what it seems. You are super smart. Control that temper. Find peace. Spirituality is the key for him, right? Leaning into spirituality and his faith and his peace, and cultivating a space that is going to make him happy. It's so crazy of how I look at these cards now, and like death. And even if you guys don't agree with my philosophy of how I am interpreting death, whether it's in the Owen Hart or this, I think cards tell a lot, right? And the energies will tell you if they're repeating a cycle, if their spirit has been rebirthed again. And his spirit absolutely is telling of a rebirth. And his observation of his children or his family line, right? Learning his family line, needing to learn their lessons. We have the Magician next. Magic, talent, and transmutation. Magician is a reminder that you possess all that is needed to work magic in your life. See? Super smart. You are in control of your reality. You have all the necessary components to make your dreams come true. Take any negative energy that others toss your way, all self-doubt or negative thoughts, and transmute them into raw creative energy. Do not underestimate yourself. So yeah, it's a lot of like, no, you know what you're supposed to do. You know your lessons. Stop repeating the same cycle. Hopefully in this cycle, I really hope wherever his spirit is or when he reincarnates, that he reincarnates with much more magic and a better spiritual foundation. The Thief. This is more not expecting his death, if you ask me. Steal, replace, sneak. The thief is one who steals, although this can be a warning as someone is taking something physical from you, belonging or cherished items. It likely refers to the intangible, time, energy, or happiness. The thief can take away your sense of peace and security and replace them with negative emotions like fear and anger. Beware. So that explosive nature, and the thief, which by the way I think is the wife, because she definitely showed up in this reading. So is this the person who betrayed him, right? The business, someone in the business or the organization betraying him, right? Taking stuff from him, or is this her taking stuff from him? Or could it be the combination of them working together, the betrayal, right? Because she ends up on TV, literally, I think that Monday Night Raw, the night after, which is insane and disgusting.
Widely regarded as like the worst segment in WWE history.
It is. It's so distasteful. And the moon. What planet is ruled by the moon? Isn't that Cancer, and what else?
The moon is Cancer.
That's it?
Yes.
All right, you guys, we got the moon showing up. Who could be a Cancer around him? Bret Hart?
Bret is Cancer.
Uh-huh. He was very close with Bret. The moon. What's Stone Cold? And then we have the moon, you guys. We'll get on this last deck. And then we'll wrap up this reading, you guys. Appreciate you guys so much tuning into the Brian Pillman reading. Hope you guys are enjoying learning about Brian Pillman.
Stone Cold is Sagittarius.
I just saw a High Priestess card.
Did you?
Aspirations, illumination, uncertainty, you guys. So for the moon, it is elusive. It appears during an uncertain time in your life. You know your aspirations, but the path leading to what you want is indistinct. You may find yourself questioning a relationship or find yourself uncertain of another's feelings for you. Do not be rash at this time. Hold off making important decisions. Soon the light will shine on the answers you seek. Yeah.
The moon also very much represents feminine energy anyway, right? Again, the moon and its association with the tide in a woman's cycle is definitely a long historical association.
So what do you think?
I think I've said everything that I wanted to.
Not in the thief. Like, what do you think of this thief and similar cards?
I mean, it can definitely be, the Melanie herself is the thief, and what that relationship cost him. Addiction is a thief. While, not necessarily diagnosed, mental illness is a thief. So it could be a lot of things.
So far I see Justice, which is a Libra. We got King of Cups, the World, Burden, Responsibility, Martyr. I wonder if she contributed to his death. It's crazy. Like, she's all in this. Like, he wants me to know it's her.
Right. I mean,
that, because compared to people I've done that passed away, she is showing up quite a bit in this reading, which I find interesting about him. I'm talking about the night he died, and yet she's showing up.
Right. Even if it's not, a direct action, causal sort of situation, there's the proverbial, oh, God, you make me so crazy, you drive me to drink, right? It could be that the tumultuous relationship, those ups and downs, contributed to his unhealthy behaviors.
Right.
Could also be.
Last shuffle. When I was doing it, I saw the High Priestess card. The witch chick. And the only other time I've seen that card has been for a very particular person. I don't know how old she would have been at this time.
The $1 billion person?
Yep.
Right.
And we know she liked wrestlers.
Right. Well, she's about my age, so college age, more or less.
We have her Melanie's energy showing up. We got legalities, truth, cause and effect, accountability, lawness, consequences. So not only her energy and going through the divorce showing up. Then we have 10 of Cups, marriage, harmony, security, stability. So the marriage is showing up, as y'all see in the cards again. Why is her energy coming through so strong? Like, strong. I'm talking about the night this man died. Work preparation, skill, mastery, hard work, details, right? So we know he worked himself to the bone, right? You see this chick looks, is like working like while burnt out. She looks crazy. She looks scattered in the head, right? And as I told y'all, he worked while injured all the time. Hurt all the time, right? burden, responsibility, martyr, stress, burning out, right? One final push, there it is, right? The burnout, I'm exhausted, as we're seeing, right? Being burdened, right? Of having to be the financial bearer for this marriage, right? Mature, masculine, devoted, faithful, family-oriented, affectionate leadership. The King of Cups, which I think this is his energy showing up. Then we have the Knight of Swords, sudden action, oof, impulsive, quick, aggressive, take charge, warrior, fast thinker, risk taker, brave. But if you look at this, this is like a person on a horse getting struck by lightning, like that thunderstorm energy, right? The workhorse, but also thunderstorm energy, right? The sudden action and impulsive. Boy, he was impulsive the night he passed. Like, something made him mad, and it has to do with her. Like, there was a fight, rage, anger, something that had to do with her. And I wonder if the arguing and fighting with her maybe put too much strain on the chest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Made him, take things.
Right.
To try to medicate to sleep, because that's the dream door.
Right. And I mean, he was not at home.
Which implies sleep.
Mm-hmm. He was not in the home.
No, I'm aware.
Right.
You don't have to be in a home
No.
to contribute to helping. You could swap things, that people take things that then they don't wake up. There's a lot of ways to manipulate things. But he wants me to see her presence in these cards. Messages, news, right? A spark, creativity. But for me, this message, the words that, like, when I look at cards, Page of Wands, it's messages, right? News. So we got news, message, impulsive, sudden action, right? So I wonder what news he got that made him angry and impulsive, right? That had this, I don't know, explosive reaction, right? Travel, integration, accomplishment, right? Immigration, the world. We know they were on tour when he passed away. It was the night of, I don't know if they found him the morning of the pay-per-view or like the next day after the pay-per-view. So we have the world showing up in travel, right? And completion for the Bad Blood pay-per-view.
The hotel staff discovered him that afternoon, and
then they still went on and had a pay-per-view.
Sure. When he didn't show up for call time or whatever, Jim Cornette called the hotel. And
I thought it was Jim Ross.
I believe it is Corny.
I thought it was Ross. Might want to check that. And then, y'all, we have the Chariot. So he's showing up as a workhorse double time, right? Ambitious, progress, victory, control, travel, a lot of travel, right? Determination, overcoming obstacles, success. So he was very ambitious, right? Very ambitious, always working, always on the go. Like, he wants me to see how much he was working and on the move and was just burnt out, tired, pushing through injuries. Okay. The Tower, upheaval, sudden change, chaos, awakening, revelations, surprises, breakup, uncertainty, breakdown. So there's a Tower. When you see the Tower, it's usually not a good sign, right? It means some kind of destructive, right? Bad news, right? Upheaval, sudden change. There we go. So something of news made him angry, impulsive, and chaotic, uncertain energy happened, right? With the Tower. And then we have, we know he became famous after his passing, even more famous than what he was. But we have fame, recognition, pride, victory, good news, rewards, popularity, praise. Right? On the night he passed, they talked about him. I don't know if this energy could relate to once he passed, of, his legacy being so big, right? Like, Brian Pillman is more known now and talked about more now than he was when he was alive. The Judgment, awakening, renewal, change, inner calling, reflecting, healing, second chance, wake up call. So this is what I'm saying. We got a lot of rebirth a lot of rebirth, a lot of reincarnation energy, because that's what judgment is, right? A lot of rebirth, a lot of renewal. Someone is bringing Brian Pillman back, or has bought him back through. I'm so serious, because that second chance. I wonder if it's a like one of his children had a grandkid, or something, or him being attached to his children, watching over his children, right? If he hasn't been reborn and reincarnated, this is definitely him living through his children, right? The rebirth and judgment through his children. But yeah, there was something with the wife. They had a fight, because that energy is showing up all in the cards. Something with her and news that made him upset and explosive. He was tired and burnt out on traveling. Like, that's all in these cards. All in these cards. And her taking stuff from him, right? Because we have the thief, right? And the betrayal, cheating on, infidelity. Like, man, this was wild. That marriage was toxic. Toxic. Oh my God. And his death. Like, he welcomed death. That's the crazy part. Like, I don't think he resisted death. Like, to some degree, it was like, yeah, this is better than this crap. And I don't mean that in a mean way. Like, this, I hate it here kind of way. Like, that's the energy I'm feeling. I don't even feel malicious in the sense of, like, from the business, from the company, which is what all I wanted to know, right? Like, what I see, it's more from her. So, y'all take what y'all want from that. And I mean no disrespect, truly. I don't know if they're fighting, and the stress from that fight and the divorce helps put strain on his heart to kill him. And where he medicated and didn't wake up.
I mean, he did have a hereditary heart condition. His official cause of death was the same cause of death as his father's.
I understand. But there was definitely stress and anxiety.
Absolutely.
And in a fight. I'm seeing a fight. Before he passed. And the notoriety and fame that came from his death. Anything you want to add of what you see?
No, I think you spun the tale.
Sorry, y'all. This isn't one of those conspiracy theory ones in the sense of it being the being the company. This is if it is any foul play, it's something to do with her. Like, seriously, and I mean no disrespect, and I mean no disrespect or harm to Brian Pillman Jr., but she is showing up in his cards a lot, and it could just be the stress and fight of them, because I definitely see them fighting and hurting each other and betraying, the backstab and the arguing, the explosive fighting, him not being in a good mental place, because he definitely was not in a good mental place at all. And completing, he keeps reincarnating, continuing these vicious cycles, not learning his life lesson. So, I pray that his daughter that he adopted finds peace. I hope Brian Pillman finds peace. I hope Melanie finds peace. Man, like, this business takes a lot of good talent.
Hope that Brian Pillman Jr. gets himself back on track, because he has enormous potential.
Right, and his dad is with him. Like, this ancestor, carnation, spirit guides. No, that man is very much present with his children, and his energy is showing up strong and clear. And hopefully Pillman Jr. can get on track, can get back in shape. If he sees this somehow, someone shows him this, I hope Brian Pillman Jr. gets on track, get back in shape, my guy. Get into it. Do not give up. I think you're a great talent, and I think your dad is with you, and you gotta work. You gotta put the work in. You gotta put the work in. Get that body back right. I seen you recently, and I was like, oof. And expand your ring talent, the moves you do. This is just some advice, because I think he does a lot of the same moves in all his fights. We watch a lot of his indie fights, and he does like the same 3 or 4 moves. And I'm like, bro, you are super athletic and talented. I know you can add more moves to that arsenal. So, I hope this family can find peace. But yeah, I really don't see like foul play like that. Like, I see definitely martyr though, and burnt out and just tired and pushing yourself to the brink of unhealthy places, right? I definitely saw bondage though. We definitely saw some thief taking something from somebody, and greed and stuff like that. But he seems to want me to pay attention to her being a part of that. So I'm gonna leave it at that, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Remember, this is all allegedly for entertainment purposes. I don't want to be sued or anything. I'm just trying to let Mr. Pillman tell his story, and hopefully I told his story as best as I could with the cards that he guided my hand with. And this is for, good intentions, for the good of all and harm to none. Again, this is all legend for entertainment purposes, but I do hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy it, make sure you like, share, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you can check out more videos and more content as we are uploading. We did Owen Hart, and we will plan to do many more coming up, like Adrian Adonis, JYD. So stay tuned. There's we got a lot of more videos coming out, and and Edge's video, if you guys haven't seen it, check out Edge's video that we're putting up this week. So and Brian Christopher will be getting uploaded soon. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Again, like, share, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. I'm Calypso Vibes here with my partner Jude. We hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time, bye.